Okay, so you were running these departments back in the 80s and 90s. Fast forward to today in the male, again, dominated entertainment industry. Did you see sexism during your climb? And if so, how did you deal with it? And look what's going on today at Fox and other networks. Has much changed?
No, no. And the statistics are painfully comparable today as to what they were 20 years ago, with a little tiny bit of a margin of difference. Martha Lausen, for years and years out of San Diego, looks at all the jobs above the line and the executives and what they're paid, and the difference in media, the difference is negligible. But I experienced sexism in many ways. The biggie was I was never paid what I should have been paid. And part of the problem was I didn't know. I had no one else to communicate with. One of my great learning lessons was when a woman, one of the few, who was at a network, NBC, said to me, "Loreen, how much do you make?" And I said, "Christine, that is such a rude question. I'm not going to tell you." And she says to me, big learning lesson, "Loreen, if we don't share information, how are we going to have the ability to negotiate for ourselves? We have to share information and help each other." And she was so right. So the discrimination more often took place in a lot of things which laws today would come after people for doing. A fair amount of manhandling. I'd be pat on the top of my head. What? Somebody come along and rub my shoulders. I didn't ask. They didn't ask. They just did it. I mean, there was a lot of this kind of sexism that was by innuendo it was just there in a lot of ways. And sometimes it's very hard to know how to interpret the physical proximity. I mean, I've always felt it's very peculiar that we shake hands with women, but we embrace men, and the men embrace us immediately. Where does that shaking hands and embracing, where is that line of demarcation? And then if you're embracing someone at a dinner party, the next day in the office, are you embracing them or keeping your distance? It's very awkward, a double standard, very awkward.